Kia ora team, and welcome to Big Boys Boxing, where we're all about exactly that. The big boys. With big knockouts. And the big fights. So let's get into this. What's going on, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. I'm Jono, your host. Don't forget, on your way in, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and the bell icon for future notifications. So, I got a few things happening this weekend. One decent heavyweight fight to talk about. Of course, we've got the Tim Hsu v Tony Harrison card to talk about as well. A couple of other little bits and pieces here and there. So, yeah. Just quickly before we move on to what's ahead, I want to have a quick look at something that happened last weekend. Many people haven't seen it. Last weekend, Agit Kabayel took on Argon Smakichi in Germany, and Agit Kabayel nearly got stopped, man. So we'll have a look. As you can see over here on Discord, I have a copy of the fight, and I've got it at the place in question. Agit Kabayel got an 8 count. He didn't actually hit the floor, but he got knocked about, stumbled across the ring, and the ropes held him up. So the ref called an 8 count. Gave him quite a long count and a bit of time to recover. Argon Smakichi landed a few good shots, went to town, staggered him, and pretty much blew his load and got stopped in the next round. It was definitely due to exhaustion as well. So we'll have a quick look just at this part in question. So throughout this round, this is the second round, Agit Kabayel's been trying to put on quite a bit of pressure here. So we'll have a quick look. He's trying to bob and weave, he gets in there. Smakichi steps around, lands those couple of good right hands there. And look, Kabayel's got his arms out, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's still got his arms out, not really punching. Smakichi's going to town, hits him to the body, hits him upstairs, all over the place. Now he starts stumbling. Look, he's trying to hang on. The ropes only kind of held him up, really. But the ref gives him an 8 count. And just watch this little bit here. I think it's the end of the round, pretty much. There we go, and this is the guy whose video it is, commentating a bit, looking at the shit, talking in German, so yeah, we've got it off. I'm not interested in that shit. Let's have a look towards the end of it. So here's the end, I think. Where Smakichi can hardly hold his arms up. Stumbling around, eating shots all over the place. He's blown his load. Kabayel steps in with a straight 1-2, then the right, then the left hook. Yeah, you can see Smakichi's gassed as, man. Gassed as. I think he gets knocked down. Here we go. Kabayel pretty much lies on top of him there. So, bit shit, really. It was pretty much the beginning of the end there. Is there a knockdown there? No, just pushing him over the ropes. Good right there from Agit Kabayel. Good jab, stepping into the jab. Oh, good right hand as well. See, Smikichi can't even throw anything back, can't keep his hands up. Ate another big left hand there. It's pretty much the end here. He gets stopped on his feet. I'm sure he went down. Just eating them. Look how slow Smikichi's trying to return shots. He's just walking away. Should have been, yeah, stopped there when he's almost turned his back. He can't keep his hands up. He's done. Over the top with the right. Oh, yeah. That's that. Just calls it a knockdown, does he? Yep. Smikichi's going to get up and keep trying. Cabiel's conditioning is way better. Usually these tall, skinny guys have pretty good stamina, but Smikichi, that's it. It's all over. So Edgy Cabiel got out of jail, really. It was what it was. Many thought that it shouldn't have been a count. It's kind of debatable whether it should have been a count or not. He kind of just leant on the ropes. I don't know if it really held him up that much. Meh, you know, was what it was. So Edgy Cabiel gets to keep his O for now. Yeah, was what it was. Sup, Adri? Hope you're well, mate. Zan Kazabutski. Vimira Gassiev. That's a good fight, but Zan Kazabutski has been ordered to face Aslanbek Makhmudov. Well, Makhmudov's been ordered to defend his trinket title that he's got against Zan Kazabutski by the WBC. I've seen that order come down, so that I'm looking forward to that fight. Zan Kazabutski, he's a funny kind of guy, eh? He's always in cruise control. As soon as he puts his foot on the gas, he gets guys out of there. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with a monster like Aslanbek Makhmudov putting the pressure on. But at the same time, I think Makhmudov will probably have an idea of what Kazabutski's all about. He might not pressure as well as much. He might try and box a bit more. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Gassiev and what was it? Mike Balagun had a fight over in Armenia. I don't know if that was that last weekend. I think it was as well. Yeah, it was. I was extremely disappointed in the performance from Mike Balagun. You know, the first real punch he ate, he went down and he could have got up, but he chose not to. He quit the first time he got hit, and that's the first time I've seen Mike Balagun do that sort of thing. He usually comes to fight pretty hard. So yeah, once again, it was what it was. Gassiev moves on. His first, I thought Mike Balagun's a better opponent than Michio Wallace, and at heavyweight that'd be the best opponent he's faced to date. So yeah, if you're looking for a competitive fight, Adri, maybe Mike Balagun and Michio Wallace is a decent fight. Neither of them have got heart by the looks of it. Or, I don't know, maybe Balagun just... That check cleared, coach? Sweet, I'm out of here. Who knows? Alright, so, moving on to this weekend. We have... Tony Yoka is going to be taking on his countryman Carlos Takam finally in a fight which I think should have happened 3 or 4 years ago, to be honest. Here it is. So this fight here is pretty interesting, you know. Tony Yoka hasn't been active since he come off his loss. He is 11-1. When was that fight with Martin Bacoli? Looking here. Martin Bacoli. It was on the 14th of May. January, February, March, April, May. 14th of May last year. So he's been out of the ring for 8 months. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, this is the 9th month that he's been out of the ring. In a performance from Tony Yoka that really exposed his lack of heart. There's quite a few people who thought maybe Tony Yoka had a lack of heart from the amateurs. And it was really shown in this fight. He seemed to fight the second half of the fight like he thought he was in front for some reason, but he was getting smoked, man. He was getting smoked. Let me have a look at the scorecards from that fight. Event belt. Actually, I'll put the browser up so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. No, we don't want Discord. Change that over. Douche. What do we got here? Black screen. What if I go like this? Yeah, now it's working. Sweet as. So there we go. This was the fight between Tony Yoka and we want scores. How the hell was it a majority decision? Tony Yoka got smoked in this fight. So they don't have the actual judges' scores on here, but they have the fan scores. And look at this. Tony Yoka wins two rounds according to the fans. Well, there's the judges' scores down the bottom. So the fans had it 90-98. Tony Yoka got put down in the fifth round. Yeah, he got knocked down in the fifth round. So one judge gave Tony Yoka 4 rounds. How the fuck? One judge gave him 2 rounds, and one judge gave him 3 rounds. No, there's a knockdown in there. Wow, so one judge gave Tony Yoka 6 rounds at 94 of majority. Yeah, majority decision. Wow. One judge gave Tony Yoka 6 rounds and only gave Bacoli 4. That's crazy. One judge gave Tony Yoka 4 rounds, but he got knocked down. That should be 93 unless he gave 2 10-8 rounds. And one judge gave Tony Yoka 5 rounds. There must be 2 knockdowns. No, the fans only gave 1 10-8 round. Oh no, in the first round as well. 2 10-8 rounds. There you go. Wow. So how the fuck they got those score? How that judge gave Tony Yoka 6 rounds? BC. Who was it? Bertrand. Jesus Christ, don't know where the hell, who that's from. BC. 94, 94. I don't know who this dude is or where he comes from. I wouldn't be surprised if he's French with that score. That's a rip, man. That's a hell of a rip. But anyways, back to the actual fight. This one here. Go to the event. Come on, PC. There we go. So as you can see, it's in Paris, France. There's no listed media yet, but surely it'll be on ESPN. Carlos Takam's got an ESPN connection. And Tony Yoka is actually a top-ranked fighter. So it'll be early on Sunday morning New Zealand time, I believe. Yeah, it says Saturday here, but that's Saturday in France, and they are about 10 hours behind us or something like that. So might be 9 hours behind with daylight saving if they have it. So Tony Yoka 11-1. He's taking on Carlos Takam, who's 39, 7-1. Takam's coming off a loss. Who did he lose to? Well, Aslan Bekmambetov, that's right. Went the distance, didn't it? Yeah, over 10. A reasonable performance from Takam for his age. I mean, he's getting on, isn't he? What's his age now? 42 years old. So yeah, he's getting pretty long in the tooth. And like I was saying at the start of the stream, I think it's a tactic from Tony Yoka to try and age him out. Tony Yoka started his professional career pretty strong with a high level of opposition. Who was it? Ian Lewison or something he started with? Travis Clark. No, that's not that high a level, but he was unbeaten at the time, Travis Clark. Jonathan Rice in his second fight, and that was a hella competitive fight. And this was the Jonathan Rice, the back foot guy who wasn't so confident in himself like he is these days. That went 6 rounds, and many people thought Tony Yoka actually lost that fight. But this guy's a nobody. Cyril Leonet, another Frenchman, countryman. Cyril Leonet at the time, I believe, was the French number or French champion or something. Nothing about it there, but yeah, and then Dave Allen. Then Alexander Dimitrenko. So the first 10 fights of Tony Yoka's career. Michelle Wallace. This guy's a fucking joke. I hate seeing his name these days. He started his career pretty strong. He's Johan Dorper. That was actually an okay fight until Dorper got stopped pretty quickly from memory. Yeah, it was in the first round. That was really unexpected, that one. Thought Dorper would get some more rounds. Christian Hammer fight, that was a terrible fight to watch. Absolutely terrible. Yoka was getting away with a whole lot of dirty shit, and so was Christian Hammer. It was a shit fight to watch. Then this fight here, many of y'all won't even know who Joel Tumbleweed Jekko is. He's actually a cruiserweight usually. It was an awesome fight to watch, man. Jekko was in there he's a scrapper, man. He was fighting his ass off, and he managed to last until the 12th round where Tony Yoka stopped him. But anyways, the level of competition recently hasn't been. I mean, Peter Melis was an okay fighter as well. At the time, he was unbeaten. So, up until Martin Bakole, Tony Yoka had fought really decent level of competition for the amount of fights he had. But he really got beat down, and he really didn't want to rematch Martin Bakole. So we got what we got. Now Carlos Takam, we've seen him recently. He hasn't looked his best. I mean, Joe Joyce, he was doing a pretty decent job in there with Joyce until he got stopped in the 6th. Jerry Forrest, I thought Jerry Forrest won this fight just by a round. I wouldn't have argued with the draw, but I didn't think Carlos Takam won that fight. Fabio Maldonado, I don't even bother really why we should talk about that, but Takam at his best would have got this guy out of there. He didn't. Craig Lewis, really durable guy, not the most skilled but really durable, and as you can see, unanimous decision. Sinad Gashi, this dude, he fights like an animal until he thinks he's going to lose and he don't want to fight anymore. Sinad Gashi. Derek Chisora, that was a good fight. Takam was winning that fight until he got caught and sparkoed out cold with that shot. Anthony Joshua, he was actually doing pretty good in that fight too, and I thought the referee stopped it early in the third to last round. Takam was disputing the stoppage. The referee stepped in and stopped it. It was a bit shit. And I didn't bother mentioning that one. All that one. And then there was the Joseph Parker. That was the IBF eliminator. Takam, many people were arguing that there was corrupt judging and that the New Zealand judges blah this and blah that, but the fact of the matter is, look, there was no New Zealand judges. It was a final eliminator, so they had neutral judges. Check it out. None of these dudes are from New Zealand. Ian Scott, I don't know who they are, but if they were New Zealand judges, I'd know the names, trust me. Nah, none of them are New Zealand judges, man. 116, 112 Parker, 116, 112 Parker, 115, 113 Parker. It was a close competitive fight, and that was a much fresher Takam at the time. I thought if they rematch now, they're both not looking the best these days. So I don't know how the fight will go. But anyways, a lot's going to depend on what state of mind Tony Yoka is in for this fight. We know where Takam's at. We know he's still wily and difficult, and he can survive and he can land punches. He doesn't have big knockout power or anything at world level, but if he can land a couple of good shots on Tony Yoka early, maybe he'll drop balls again. Maybe Takam can swarm him. But I've got a feeling that Takam's going to run out of gas if this happens. I think Takam's going to run out of gas at about round 7 anyway. And if Tony Yoka's got enough left in him, he should be able to stop Takam late, I think. But you never know. Like that Tony Yoka-Johan Duopa fight, Yoka could land something and really hurt Takam and get him out of there early. Depending on who the referee's going to be for the fight as well. They probably won't have the referee listed as yet. Nah, there's nothing here yet. What? Light heavy? Am I on the wrong fight? Oh, I am. It's the second one down. It's this one. There we go. Heavyweight. It's got the last 6 fights. Doesn't list the referee. They never seem to put that up until the day, which is weird considering the the contract is signed. The judges have decided when the contract's signed, so they should be able to put that shit on BoxRec as well. Don't think we've got any weights yet either. No, well, fuck, the weigh-in's not for a couple more days yet. So yeah, I'm picking Tony Yoka to win this fight, probably by a 9th round stoppage, somewhere there. I'm not going to give away too much more about it for my predictions for the prediction league. So, back to the live show, and let's see if we got anybody in the chat now. Alright, we got Phil Carl Roberts in the house, we got Adri as well. Right, what do we got for comments here? You're at Gassiev v Alia and Demirizin. That could be interesting because Demirizin's quite quick and throws a lot of volume. Gassiev looks pretty fat at the moment compared to what he was at cruiserweight. He's weighing about 240 pounds or some shit. He's legit heavyweight. He's never been that fast. He's kind of a one-trick pony. Demirizin's got an extensive amateur career. He knows what to do in there. It could be interesting. Don't expect Demirizin will have any chance of knocking Gassiev out. Gassiev's definitely got a chance of knocking Demirizin out because Gassiev definitely hits hard enough, but yeah, this is heavyweight. I don't know, be an interesting fight. Wouldn't mind seeing it. Bill Cole Roberts, Jono and Andrew, sup? What else we got here? Link to jump on the panel. Yeah, better put that in if anybody wants to jump on, I suppose. Pin that to the top. And jump in as well. Testing. Yeah, mic's working. Sweet as. Alright, back to the chat. Alright, so yeah, definitely an interesting heavyweight dust up. I think there's another fight of interest on that card. Yeah, Dan Aziz, light heavyweight, is going to be on there. He's going to be fighting for the EBU European light heavyweight title. And I don't know if actually he holds it or this other guy holds it. It doesn't say it's vacant. So someone holds it. This other guy is Thomas Faure. Faure. Don't know the dude. He's 21-4 with one draw. I'm guessing he's a Frenchman. Let me have a quick look here. Yeah, he's a Frenchman. Could be an interesting fight. I don't know much about this dude. I'll have to go and look it up. He's been stopped once. He's only got 2 KOs, so he doesn't really have a lot of power. 2 KOs out of his 21 wins. Last fight was a decision. Fight before that was a decision. Fight before that was his draw over 10 rounds, and that was against Kayan Thomas Koisan. I don't know, Kojean, Kojan. Oh fuck, I don't know. He was 25-10. He's having a draw against that dude. I don't expect too much out of him, but if I'm scrolling through his record, I'm not seeing any flags of anywhere except France. Looks like that's the only place he's fought. Dan Aziz should blow this dude out of the water, I think. I think he'll blow him out in 4 rounds or less, to be honest. And I haven't even looked at any footage yet. Just based on what I see on the record, Dan Aziz is going to smoke this guy. Absolutely blow him out of the water. So yeah, the Yoka and Takam fight is only 10 rounds. It's not 12. What else is on this card? Looks like a lot of Frenchies. There's a guy called Macaulay McGowan, 17-3, super middleweight. He's in a question mark amount of rounds fight against Pahed Saad. Don't even know that dude. 8-0 with 1 draw. Don't look like too much else of interest. There's a women's fight down the bottom. I thought Tony Yoka's missus might be fighting as well. We haven't seen her for a while. What's her name? Shane Mosley Sr.'s daughter. She was a gold medalist at the Olympics. Oh shit, I can't remember her name. Someone Yoka Mosley. Or Mosley Yoka. Yeah, they were both 2016 Olympic gold medalists, and they ended up getting married, having kids, and she usually fights on his card as well, but it's not going to be there. So we shall move on. That'll be on early Sunday morning New Zealand time, Saturday night in the UK, and Saturday afternoon, or maybe just after lunch in the US, depending on what side of the states you live on. The other big one for this weekend, of course, is Tim Sue and Tony Harrison. Is going to happen down under in Australia. It's going to be in Sydney at Dynamic Park, New South Wales. There's a couple of fights on here that I'm interested in. Of course, I'm extremely interested in this main event. Tim Sue is already a mandatory. Well, he's an interim champion, I believe. Yeah, he is. He's the WBO interim super welterweight champion. So he's already mandatory. Tony Harrison, we know he's the only man to beat the man at 154, being Jamal Charlo. He did get stopped in their rematch, but from what I've seen of Tim Sue's interviews, if he was to fight Jamal Charlo and win, his first mandatory would be Tony Harrison anyway. Well, for the WBO anyway, but in all reality, there's piled up mandatories for those 4 belts. And if Tim Sue did happen to beat Jamal Charlo, he wouldn't be facing his WBO mandatory immediately, would he? So, it is what it is. It's a real fitty fight. I think Tim Sue needs this fight, to be honest. He needs some world level fights to gauge exactly where he's at. I mean, his resume isn't exactly stacked. The most recognizable name on there is probably Terrell Gausha or Takeshi Inoue. So, I mean, Takeshi Inoue is probably actually more accomplished than Terrell Gausha. At the time Tim Sue fought Takeshi Inoue, was 17-1-1. And has he fought since Takeshi? He's fought two more times since he fought Tim Sue. Tim Sue couldn't stop him, went the distance over 12. Wasn't that competitive, but Inoue was hanging in there. Who else has he fought? He's fought a couple of guys that are not well known. 7-2-2, Takeshi Inoue, the guy he fought next. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, sorry. The guy after that was 18-7-2. And the first fight was a UD win and the second one was a TKO. But Terrell Gausha, his last opponent, we saw him fight. Well, I saw him fight last weekend actually. He got a win, got a knockout win over Brandon Lynch, who was 12-1-1. But the fight before that was Tim Hsu. So Tim Hsu hasn't been that active, but I'm pretty sure neither has Tony Harrison. Let me have a look here. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head before I see it. Yeah, Tony Harrison. He had that knockout loss in the rematch to Jamal Charlo. He got stopped late in the 11th round. It was nowhere near as competitive as the first fight. And then he hopped in the ring with Bryant Perella in a fight which he should have won. Didn't perform that well. He ended up a split decision draw. So that means 2 judges gave it a draw. Or actually, it could go 1 each way and 1 a draw. That would mean a draw as well, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at the scores. Oh, they've got the actual round scores on this one. So the fans gave it 115, 113 to Tony Harrison. So they had it close. One judge gave it 111 to 117 to Perella. One gave it 116, 112 to Harrison. And one gave it 114 to 114, a draw. So 1 each way. Wow, that one judge only gave Harrison 3 rounds. And then the other judge, the next judge, gave Harrison 6 rounds. 8 rounds. How the fuck can the scores be that different? 111, 117 to 111, 117 in favor of Perella. 116, 112 in favor of Harrison. There's some fucked up shit going there. But hold on, let's have a look here. Who are the judges? Lou Marat, Max DeLuca, and Zachary Young. So Max DeLuca gave it 8-4 to Harrison, and Lou Marat gave it 9-3 to Perella. Far out. I don't know how they get the judges get things that different. It's dodgy. And anyways, Tony Harrison's next fight was against Sergio Garcia. I thought Sergio Garcia was old as hell. Was he come back? Where's Garcia's age? He's only 30. Well, he looked old in that fight. I remember seeing it. but he got unanimous decision beaten, did Sergio Garcia, by Tony Harrison. So this is going to be interesting. Tony Harrison's a really skilled kind of guy, but he tends to fade a bit in the later rounds. But being stopped a few times late, he's been stopped 3 times. The 3 times he's lost, it's been by knockout. So Tony Harrison is 32 years old, 6'1". Tim Hsu ain't a big super middleweight. He is 28 years old, so he's got the youth advantage. He's only 5'8", so he's going to have a substantial height disadvantage. He's got a 70-inch reach. I don't think they had Tony Harrison's reach listed. Height, oh yeah, they do. 76.5-inch reach. Wow. He's got a long reach as well. It's going to be tough for Tim Hsu to get past that jab and the movement of Tony Harrison. But like I say, I think the fact that Tony Harrison tends to fade later in fights might be the point that gets Tim Hsu the win. But if Tim Hsu lands something early, I think he's definitely got the power to change the fight pretty quickly at the same time, you know. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's a legit 50-50 fight at this point. I would expect Aziz to win handily. Yeah, exactly, Philip. I would expect Hsu to beat Harrison. Here's a higher level boxer. You reckon so, Phil? It's hard to tell, and this is another reason why I said I think Tim Hsu needs this fight, because at world level, you know, we've only seen him against Takeshi Inoue and Terrell Goucher, and those guys aren't extremely high level boxers. So yeah, it's going to be certainly interesting, man. But you could be totally right. Tim Hsu might just outclass him quite easily. If Tony Harrison doesn't look great by about round 3 or 4, I think Tim will stop him. But it's going to depend on how it looks. I'm seeing a few Americans, I will say Americans, are expecting, if it goes the distance, that they'll try and rob Tony Harrison. I think that's laughable. You know, they all point their finger back to that Pacquiao-Horn fight where they thought Pacquiao got robbed, saying the Australian officials did this and did that, but there was no Australian officials. And I'm pretty sure, being for a interim world title in this fight, they won't have Australian judges there unless they have one Australian, one American and a neutral. They've all got to be agreed on the contract, the judges. Yeah, if there is any fuckery going on with the cards, then the fighters only have themselves to blame for agreeing to having what officials they have, you know. And don't get me wrong, it does happen. There are robberies in boxing, but I don't think it comes down to where the judges are from in most cases. It just comes down to the individual judge sometimes. That's the one doing the fuckery, like that Adelaide Bird bitch. You know? It's an interesting fight. Yeah, I agree, Phil. Typical LDBC. I don't even know if it was LDBC. I was just watching somebody, I'm not going to put a name out there, somebody that I respect, young fella. He's about 15 years old, but he's been on YouTube for a few years now. He's expecting, if it goes the distance, that they'll try rob Tony Harrison. But yeah, LDBC, I don't even go near any of those channels anymore. They're not worth my time. They just talk a lot of racial baiting or prejudice crap. Basically roping in the same audience between all the channels, sharing their super chats around. It's fucking ridiculous. I've got no time for that shit. People can keep their clicks. I'll just stay over here and do my own thing and hang about with some people that I do respect on YouTube. You know, I was over on Ring IQ's channel yesterday, and I was on the start of his late night boxing chat talking about the shoe fight, the situation, and talking about the Carlos Takam and Tony Yoka fight. I wasn't on there long, but you know, it's another channel that I respect and have a bit of time for, so I spend a bit of time over there. So if anybody is at all interested, there is Prediction League for this week. I'll put the picture up here. Hold on. What do we got here? Here we go. Here's our picks for this week over at the Prediction League if you want to get involved at all. This is the second to last week, I think. What's the date? No, we're going to finish by the end of March so we can start a new season. So there might be 2 more weeks after this one, actually. Yeah, there will be 2 more weeks after this one, and then it's the end of the season. So for anybody who wants to get involved in the next season, so you're not too far behind, you can jump over to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. The invite link to the server is in the description below, and you can get over there and make some picks. The scoring's pretty basic. 1 point for picking the winner, 2 points for picking the method of victory, 3 points for picking the right half of the fight in a stoppage, and 4 points for picking the exact round. And you can accumulate up to 10 points for a fight. So if you get the method of victory, the right half of the fight, and the knockout round, you get 10 points. If you get the right half of the fight, you can get 6 points. The only points you can get are 1, 3, 6, and 10. And you also get a point in the KO King section as well. That KO King section is basically to separate, if anybody gets a tie at the end of the season, the KO King points are going to decide who wins out of the 2 that are drawn. So get into it, but that's our selection for this weekend. There's a few fights to pick from, as you can see. If you want to have a better look at it and go and have a look what people are actually picking, you can click on the threads below each week and see what they picked. And yeah, it's just a bit of fun. At this point, depending if we get a few more participants, we'll end up with a prize, but we've only got 5 of us in at the moment. I think Steven's dropped off. He's hasn't picked for a couple of weeks because he's gotten too far behind, which is fair enough, and that's another reason why we're going to do 4 seasons or 3 seasons in a year, so we can get people back into it. So I think that's about it, unless there's anybody wants to mention a fight to talk about. Actually, I see some news with Tyson Fury Hey, Hannibal's turned up. What's up, brother? You're late for tea. Likewise, PCR. Lucky. Oh, what? BBB has a bad week. We will be on on his doorstep. Yeah, well, you're only 4 points behind me before last week. I did have a bad week. I wasn't having a great week this week, just been either, but that Nicholson KO in the second round saved my ass, gave me a 10 points, bumped me up from 24 to 34 points and took out the score for the week. So you better watch your ass though, Philip. I see Hannibal's right up your butt now, isn't he? He's had a couple of good weeks in a row, so it's getting tight. It's getting tight. Shambles has dropped off a little bit, but it only takes 1 week of getting a couple of those KO King points and you're right back in there. So it's tight like a tiger. Yeah, it's all fun and games. Yeah, Tyson Fury, that's right. Apparently turned down 60-40. The hitch was, see, they were wanting 60-40 in favour of Tyson Fury. Alexander Usyk's manager, what's his name? Alexander Krychuk, he's turned around and said, okay, we'll take the 60-40 deal, but the winner gets the 60%. So if Tyson Fury is that confident, he should be jumping on it, go, sweet, there's the deal, we got it, because I'm going to beat you. If he doesn't want to take that deal, he ain't so confident of winning, is he? Crazy ass gypsy sly fucking shyster prick. So yeah, Tyson Fury, the diva, have no mistakes about it. This fight doesn't happen between them on the 29th of March. It's Tyson Fury's fault. Simple as that. Yeah, me too, mate. I hate him. I like watching him fight, but outside of the ring, he's a fucking idiot. He believes the whole world are thicker than pig shit. Got fucking rocks in our heads because we're not boxers. Fucking dumbass. He's killing the possibility of undisputed. Everybody knows it's him. So it's funny. He claims to be the greatest, but he won't fight the best. Fucking idiot. Excuse me. Let's have a drink there. He is an idiot. He is an idiot. The belts. Oh, he's only got one belt. Hosted for an age. Yeah, wow. Yeah, he's getting up there in age though, so I guess we don't have to put up with the shit for too much longer. Let me have a look. Is he like 36 or 35 or something? Let's have a look. Hopefully we don't have to put up with this shit for too much longer. Get this freaking fight made. Oh, he's 34, so he's... I know when his birthday is, because it's the same day as mine, just 10 years earlier. So, yeah, he'll be 34, 35 come August this year. He's still got a few more years in him yet, unless he takes big shots like he did against Deontay Wilder too many times. But yeah, I'm over his diva bullshit, It's just deterring to be a boxing fan when you got to put up with that shit. These guys talk about wanting to be the best, but they won't fight the best for whatever reason. He says he's not in it for the money, but now it's all about fucking money. That's why it's not happening. What's up, Kevin? Hope you're well, bro. Just having a bitch about Tyson Fury and his diva bullshit at the moment. Mr. Zaza in the house as well. What's up, man? What did you say there, Mr. Zaza? What do you think is going on? Split for Fury. So yeah, we were just talking about that. Fury's team were wanting 60-40 for the Usyk fight. Usyk's management come back and said, yeah, we'll take the 60-40 deal, but the winner gets the 60%. And Tyson's, nah. Obviously not confident that he can beat the cat. So, fucking Diva's pissing all us boxing fans off. What we about, lads? We about the boxing and the legacy. Who gives a shit what money they make? Especially when the guy who's asking for the lion's share has said many times in the past, it ain't about the money. I like the idea of a roughly 50-50 with an extra amount put aside for the winner. Yeah. The easy way to sort it though, instead of putting some aside, why not? Well, you could go 45-45 and then have 10% for the winner. That sort of thing, I guess, but the easy way to do it is go, yeah, that's 60-40, that's 60-40 and the winner gets the 60. Makes it simple. But I really hate this counting fucking boxers' money and what they're gonna get and shit, what a fighter thinks they're worth and all that sort of crap. I like the style of Alexander Usyk. It ain't so much about the money for him. If you win the big fights, you're going to get big money. So, you know, Usyk isn't looking for a dollar amount, he's looking just for a percentage. Whereas it seems Tyson Fury's looking for a dollar amount, and that's what's fucking everything up. I'm sure he would have got offered at least twice what he earned against Derek Chisora from the Saudis, and it still wasn't fucking good enough. The winner should get more. Yeah, for sure. What have we got here? 50, that was, yeah, some side for the winner. Say an extra 10 mil. Well, yeah, depending on what the pot is. I think if they fight in London, there's probably not going to be more than about 30 or 40 million all up. Whereas if they were going to fight in Saudi, they'd be pushing 100 million. So regardless, even if Tyson Fury gets 60% fighting in London, it's still going to be less than what he got in Saudi with a 50-50 split of the fight purse, and they have their negotiated bonuses with the Saudis individually over there. It's kind of weird how they do it. Winner should get more of the 50-50 regardless of who wins. Yes, it's not 50-50 is all if it's that way. You know, like I was saying, you might need to go 45-45 and leave 10% aside for the winner or something like that. That sounds fair enough. If you know you're gonna win, what's the problem? That's exactly it, Kevin. That's exactly it. Usyk's team have said, yeah, we'll take that deal if the winner gets the 60%. So, what's the problem, Fury? He's just a blown up middleweight, right? That nobody knows. Some foreigner. So, you know, if the good big man can't beat the good little man, then you're just a bum. Those are the words that come out of your mouth, Tyson. You know? What? Oh, moved on me. What was that? Never going to win. What's the problem? Legacy of bank account, more like, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Kevin. Mr. Zaza. Must be scared. 60-40 for the winner. Sounds good. Yep. There is a lot of money in the fight. Fury is greedy. Damn right, Phil. Damn right. Greedy diva bitch ass. 6'9" bald fucking baby. Where? You're not getting enough money, but I'm only fighting for legacy. Fuck off, Tyson. Has to be 50-50. Usyk got 3 belts. Maybe it's Tyson's had his money taken off. He had his money taken off him by the law. Well, I don't know what the dealio is with that. Just know he can't get into America anymore with that Daniel Kinahan association. And as far as I know, his ESPN contract expired. It was apparently a 5-fight deal. And there hasn't been any news of a re-sign. However, they're still, I guess Bob Arum and Frank Warren are buddy. They're still showing Tyson's fights over on ESPN in America, and they're still talking about him like he's their fighter, even though he's probably not under contract anymore, and there's no point in re-signing with ESPN if Tyson can't get into the States anymore. So, I don't know. Just trying to make money off the bold baby, I guess. Fury is a shithouse. Yeah, love it, Phil. Exactly. Old baby ass shithouse. Alright, so I guess I won't bother talking about next weekend's fights. There's a few next weekend. I'll have a quick, I'm not going to say exactly talk about too much of it, but I do have a list here of what is happening on the 18th. Oh, there's Johnny Fisher this weekend. I forgot about that, actually. He's fighting a guy, Diamani, there. He should get the win on that one. He probably should get the knockout as well. That's on. What the hell card is that on, actually? Let me check it out. Oh, that's someone junior. Is fighting Dara Foley. Let me see. Here we go, Johnny Fisher. Box rec. He's fighting Alfonso Damiani. Yeah, that must be how you say it. Alfonso Damiani. He's 6-2. Let me see. Alfonso Damiani has only been stopped once with his 2 losses. So looking at that card, it's Robbie Davis Jr., who's 23-3, is taking on Dara Foley in a 10-rounder. Dara Foley is 21-4-1. I'm sure he's Australian, but he's born in Ireland. Holy shit, I'm right. No, I'm not. Birthplace. United Kingdom. Yeah, he lives in Australia though. There's Dara Foley. I've seen him fighting on Australian cards. So yeah, he's taking on Robbie Davis Jr. They've both got a couple of losses, so it should be pretty interesting to see how that fight goes. Actually, doesn't have a listed media outlet as yet. No, doesn't. What do we got? Promoter Eddie Hearn. Okay, so it'll be on the Zone. Most definitely. Who else we got on this card? Oh yeah, Diego Pacheco v Jack Cullen. That's going to be a good fight. I think Pacheco will get the win one way or another there, but Jack Cullen's 21-3-1 draw. Diego Pacheco's 17-0. Let me see, has Jack Cullen been stopped? Jack Cullen, yeah, the 3 times he's lost, he's got knocked out. He's had 1 draw. So he got stopped in the 6th round 2 fights ago. Against Kevin Lele Sadio. Wow, don't know who that dude is. He was 16-0 though. Who the fuck is that? I've never even heard that name before. Yeah, Kevin Lele Sadio. 19 wins, 17 KOs. He's a Frenchman. Interesting. Anyways, who knocked out Jack Cullen? Oh yeah, that's who I was talking about. So Jack Cullen's coming off an 8-round referee decision win over Vladimir Balushki, maybe? Balujsky. Scrolling down his record, he had a bit of a streak down to his draw. He had a draw with Zach Gill. That was over 10. He got knocked the fuck out in the 8th round against Felix Cash. I think I actually remember that one. Yeah, I remember watching that. And he
You got knocked the fuck out.
yeah. So that'll be an interesting fight, but let's check out a couple of other things what are on this card. So it'll definitely be televised. Ryman Dixon, 7-0. She will be taking on Vicky Wilkinson, 5-0-1. It's a chick fight at lightweight. Before that, we've got Peter McGrail. Don't know the dude. He's 6-0. It's in a 10-round fight against Nicholas Botelli. Nicholas Botelli. 14-7 bantamweight fight. Then we've got the Johnny Fisher fight. Obviously, he's 7-0. It's an 8-round fight against Alfonso Damiani, who's 6-2. What else we got on here? Oh hell, not gonna try to pronounce that. There's a 10-0 guy in an 8-round fight against Dean Dodge, who's 9-2-1. That's lightweight. There's another lightweight before that. There's a middleweight fight. James McCarthy, 2-4-1, taking on unbeaten Paddy Lacey, who's 7-0. Oh God, Campbell Hatton's on the card. He's 9-0. He should be 7-2, I think. He's in a 6-rounder against Michael. Oh jeez, I'm not going to pronounce that. Gonxe. Gonxe? I don't know. He's 4-2-1. Oh God, I hate seeing Campbell Hatton. He sucks. Sucks arse. Couldn't light a candle to his father. Alright, I'm back over to the chat. Kevin Worrell. Have we spoken about the Conor Ben madness? Fuck. Well, he's been cleared by the WBC. He's having fights with the BBB OC, but it seems he's unwilling to provide the same information that he gave to the WBC to the British Border Boxing Control. The British Border Boxing Control don't have the freaking evidence. Conor Ben's samples were apparently tested 3 times when they're only supposed to be tested once. They were tested clear 3 times before they tested positive the 4th time. His independent scientist wasn't allowed in the lab when they were retesting with the B samples. All sorts of crap. It's a freaking fiasco. And it's the same sort of shit with the British Border Boxing Control all the time. They're not transparent. They don't make any fucking sense. But I don't know. I just want them to either sort it out or don't sort it out. Be done with it. In all reality, I expect Conor Ben to just go and fight in the States anyway, since he's cleared a fight over there. But, you know, I think why Conor Ben doesn't want to give that information that he gave to the WBC to the British Border Boxing Control is if they determine that he's going to be suspended, then it's going to reflect on him getting a license everywhere else, isn't it? If he's suspended in one place. But yeah, fuck. It's a freaking fiasco, man. I'm sick of this shit. It's been months and they still haven't sorted it out. It's going to be like the Tyson and Fury shit that's going to take 2 fucking years to sort out. I'm here to watch boxing. I'm not here to debate about shit that we don't have the actual information about. One man saying this and one man saying that. You know, hard evidence on paper, or hard evidence shouldn't be that hard to, you know, put out to the public or to the governing bodies or whoever you need to give it to. Just, here you go. Here's the evidence. Make your decision. Be fucking done with it. Drag it all through court. He's suing the British Board of Boxing Control for the loss of purse against Chris Eubank Jr. and defamation of characters. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sort it out. You guys got fucking rocks in your head or what? Ryman Dixon, local girl. From Warrington. Proud of her. That's awesome, man. I guess you'll be watching that one a little more intently, Kevin. Good stuff. Campbell Hatton. Yeah. There's a KO waiting to happen, that's for sure. It's about the only time I'll enjoy watching Campbell Hatton is me watching him getting knocked the fuck out. It's all strikes, Jono. Don't believe a word of it. Yeah, man. Drive me crazy with all that crap, eh? It's like I say, look, give them the information. Go, here you go. Make your decision. Be done with it. Said, oh, you said this. You hit my character. You did it. Well, they're not the ones that apparently ate 10,000 contaminated fucking eggs. You know? If Conor Benn had have been responsible about what he was putting into his body, there wouldn't have been a fucking issue in the first place. Hate it when these guys claim, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know. It's your body. You're in a sport where they have drug testing. You should be making sure that whatever you're eating isn't contaminated. But yeah, they'll keep moaning and bitching like babies. Pissing the real boxing fans off with this he said, she said, I'm suing, you're suing bullshit. Get in the ring and fight, you whinging baby bitches. Baby back bitches. Will Tank Garcia make it to the ring? I think they actually will. Finally. It's been a long time coming. I mean, I think they'll actually get there. I think Tank will actually get the win in the end too. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not a fight that I've been itching and scratching to see. Not like what's a lower weight fight that I've been itching and scratching to see? Like a Beterbiev Bivol fight. I really want to see that. Like a Benavidez v Canelo. I really want to see that. I really want to see Crawford v Spence. If we're getting down to lower weights, what else do I want to see? Actually, Teofimo Lopez v Josh Taylor is a pretty interesting fight for me too, because you know Josh Taylor didn't look great against Cattrall, and Teofimo didn't look great against that dude he fought last either. Can't remember who off the top of my head. But have no mistake about it. When they get in the ring, Teo's going to be quite a bit smaller than Josh Taylor. People seem to forget that. Hey, Jono. Oh yeah. Just in the stream. Alright, I've got a visitor. That's it for today. I will catch you all next time. I am out. Alright team, that's all we have for you today. Hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and that bell icon for future notifications so you don't miss nothing. Also, get over to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. The invite link is in the description. There's lots of things you can find there, like fight links, boxing chat, prediction leagues, fight streams, and fight parties. So get into it. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you!